Can the mutants of Krakoa defeat their ultimate enemy in the Sentinels? Well, let's hop into the pages of House of X issue number 3 and find out for ourselves, shall we? Alrighty then, so picking up from where the last issue left off, Cyclops has been tasked by Professor X and Magneto to lead a strike team against Orchis and their new Mother Mold system. Also, after reading Powers of 10, we have new levels of context for all of this. You see, Mother Mold, according to the information that future Moira was able to gather, will ultimately lead to the creation of Nimrod in that dark future, but now the X-Men have the information to fight it. Scott's strike team, made up of some of your favorite X-Men, decide to pile into a repurposed alien craft in order to get themselves to space. This mission is going to be extra dangerous because they're not bringing a Krakoa seed along with them to teleport back. For fear of that technology falling into enemy hands, this also means that unless they play their cards absolutely right, this is going to be a one-way trip for all of them. Now, at the other end of the story, we have Sabretooth. He had been captured in the break-in on damage control and now is being held for trial at the Achilles installation, a super prison for super villains who act super bad. Help comes for Creed in the unlikely form of Emma Frost, who literally comes strolling in like friggin' Ric Flair, styling and profiling with some X-shaped bling. As the White Queen and the Stepford Cuckoos tell us, Krakoa has just so managed to reach a brand new agreement with the American State Department, meaning that all mutant criminals will now have to face mutant justice back in Krakoa. Meaning that Sabretooth just got saved from having the book thrown at him. Whether or not that means he'll actually be punished by his mutant brethren, though, is still up in the air at the moment. Now, over at the Orchis space base in Soul's Hammer, the Doctor there is talking to Karima, aka the Omega Sentinel, about all their great plans involving the Mother Mold. Karima, though, thinks a little bit differently, wondering if it's such a great idea to create this powerful learning machine and basically teaching it to hate mutants the way they are. Don't worry, says the Orchis Doctor, we've all seen Terminator, and that's why we built this thing so close to the sun. If it ever tries to turn against us, we'll just drop it in there. It's right around there, too, everyone aboard the ship starts getting word of the X-Men's impending attack, and they planned this raid so perfectly, too, almost as if they had information from the future or something. Basically, the ship is coming too fast for Orchis's guns to shoot at them, and they can't recall any of their Sentinel drones because they're too far away mining for raw materials. The mutants, of course, also have the extra added benefit on their side of Nightcrawler, who can bamf over there, scout the ship, and bamf back. Not before having a little back and forth with Karima, though honestly, I forgot Omega Sentinel was actually on the X-Men for a little bit, and was a marauder, and was turned human, but is now a robot again. Interesting stuff. Now, with all this information from the future making their job so easy, surely there must be some sort of butterfly effect for the X-Men, right? Well, there is. The head of Orchis Security figures that if this is the only way he can protect his species from the evil mutant threat, then he's willing to risk everything, blowing himself up and the X-Men's ship all in one go. This absolutely horrifies the head scientist, who you'll recall they were actually in a relationship together. Ooh. And so that was House of X issue number 3, everybody, and overall I did enjoy it, though I will freely admit that this issue probably had more charts and graphs and explanations in it than any other one in the Hickman X-Men line so far. And even though it's incredibly interesting and important information for understanding the story and really helping to build the new world and lore for the X-Men books, it just doesn't really make for interesting videos, I hate to say. It is pretty cool to juxtapose how in Powers of X or Powers of 10, depending on how you want to say it, the mutants are always on the run and bad stuff is always happening to them, but here in House of X, though, they're actually on the offensive. But because Hickman is good with drama, he knows that they just can't automatically win, and perhaps changing the timeline the way they are is going to have its own weird effects. Overall, super fascinating stuff. I would give it another 8 out of 10. Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel again, and I want to thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not take a closer look at some of these other videos I have available from the channel. Then you can follow me on Twitter and Facebook at Cape Joel, so you're always up to speed on what I'm doing next. And hey, if you're feeling in a supportive mood, why not check out the link down in the description for my Patreon page. Patrons get exclusive access to videos and content before anyone else, and you can do so for as little as $1 a month. That would be much appreciated, and until we meet again, everyone, this has been Cape Joel, and I will be making more comic content that smacks of greatness. Bye-bye, everyone.